Hello, so we're doing another class, and this one's going to have a little bit of talk about, I guess, reference points, edge weapons, defense, that type of thing. So first of all, I've got to give credit the launch of Kelly Warden's website, which is an online training website. So make sure you go to it. It's on here, if you can see it or not, wardendefense.com. I'll put it on the video. So we're looking at, he's got an edged weapon, if I may, for a second, right? So once again, a dulled training knife, so it's for safety. And in this case, we just took our glasses off because we got to look cool for the video, right? Heaven forbid you had glasses on. So reference points. For instance, if a spontaneous attack happened, whether it was a knife or not or anything else, I just want to look at the elbow, for instance. I'll use this one, to the elbow, for instance. So if I was getting stabbed, punched, kicked, or whatever, that type of thing, I'm most likely, if it's below my elbow, I'm probably going to spontaneously, as I'm looking at you and I get attacked, go ahead, what was that? Put my hand out that way. Now if I know some nice drill afterward, well then all the better. If that happens to be, I have the frame of mind and the training that I'm actually able to use that other hand to pass to begin with, so be it. But I'm not going to lie to you, I do a lot of training, and so have the guys at this club, and we have still all caught ourselves all of a sudden with that same side. So once again, in reference to the elbow, if it's below the elbow, down. If it's above the elbow, simply up, and then the same thing takes place. Why are we doing such simple concept right now? Because simple is best. So for instance, if I was trying to learn, let's say, empty hand, some attacks as we were taking off from the same video here, right? So maybe I'm trying to hit that, I'm trying to move and get away because I don't want to engage that in any way, shape, or form, keep them away, that type of thing. By using the travel wrench, I've got my old school green one here, we use that same idea of a reference point with the elbow. So if I'm framing it where I'm kind of tucked inside a little bit and I've already shown my tool that I'm using, if it's below the wrench, well, I'm hitting down, right? If it's to the right, it's to the right, like an outward block, depending on what system you're in. Inward and rising would be the idea. Of course, the great thing about the travel wrench is, if I were to hit him in the bone here, in the radius or the ulna, could even break it just simply with a little hit because of that couple ounces of plastic, just multiplying my strength and impact by 10. So the point of that stuff is, I'm not trying to engage a knife or anything like that. This is a drill for conceptual learning. If I was going to be empty-handed, the same thing would apply, although my hands can be a little more moving. So that brings me to the second topic, where it would almost be like an attack by draw. For instance, if I was standing in front of you with my hands out and open, you'd probably want to punch or kick or hit through the center line. If I was closed off, then the same thing. It's going to force you to kind of go around. If you look at the video that we just posted previous, that concept was looked at. For instance, getting a haymaker punch is someone who has an entire system, for instance, Tony Blauer spear system. I'm an expired instructor in Tony Blauer stuff, so of course make sure you go to his website for the updated info. But the idea being that if I was down the center, forcing him to punch or stab or hit with an ashtray or anything else, it's forcing him to do that kind of a movement. We talked about that last day, that anytime we can kind of have that happen where there's a bit of a triangulation taking place, you're going to be able to perceive that, rotate a lot easier, and that's exactly what we're kind of looking for. So some fun little bits and bobs when it comes to the base techniques that you're going to use. Okay, looking at the technique, if I was going to be inside a little bit, using that travel wrench in more of a Filipino-based martial arts kind of system where it's that tool would be forward for reach, that type of thing. Inside, outward, down, and up blocking. I'm putting that forward. If I see Dale moving in, of course, I'm moving. My feet are the thing that's actually blocking. Try not to break his arm or anything. I hammer that once. Maybe I hammer that again. And depending on the reaction I got from that guy on the withdraw or something like that, I might then even return to sender or check to 12 o'clock. If it was empty-handed or something of that nature, just pan over a little bit for the camera. The same idea. I hit on one and I try to check to 12 o'clock. That could even be me empty-handed as well, right? Check to 12. If he were going to punch, then my 12 o'clock check becomes another block, and at that point, I'm just going to continue on again. I don't want to get in a position, back to edge weapon please, I don't want to get in a position where I'm going to try to rush in, as I talked about in the videos, do something fancy here when it's not safe to do so, right? Even if I was going to hit and then hit that, or hit and then hit him again, or perhaps stay at distance where there might have been something else. The opportunity will present itself to either get out of there, get something in between us like a chair, etc., or maybe to close. And that's kind of the reference point for that.